Hi, it's Jane Garapick here. I've got some breaking news for you. You don't need a guy to live your life. Contrary to what we've been told, you do not need a guy to have a world for you to fit into. You don't need a guy to feel like you can start living. It's what you choose to make of it. You can keep waiting. You can keep hoping for the right guy to hurry up and come along and rescue you from your current life because you think it's so much easier to find yourself in someone else's ready-made life than to make one of your own. But the price you pay for that is your self-esteem, your worth, your confidence, your you. Did someone forget to tell you that you can be anything? Because you can. You can do anything. You can be anything. You can achieve anything if you believe in yourself that you can. Hear me on this one. The only reason that you can't do something is because you don't believe you can. Do you get that? Because if you try and you fail, and you say you tried and failed and it didn't work and it's not true and you really do need a man to do it for you, or at least while he's with you, then you're not understanding that you don't believe you really can. It's about beliefs. Deep down inside you, if there is that inner voice telling you that you're no good, you're going to fail, you can't do this, who do you think you are? Then you're not going to be able to do it. And you probably are going to fail. And if you know that, it's because it's happened to most of us. But it's not true. We have bought into it because they were supposed to know better. Who's they? Everyone. Everyone was supposed to know better. And when we pleased them, when we lived our lives the way they wanted us to, they loved us. They loved us so much. And that felt so good to be loved like that. So we lived acting that way, behaving that way, to be loved like that. And guess what? Here we are doing it all over again. Because this whole search, this whole quest for the perfect guy is really about our search for ourselves. But if you can find that little girl deep within you who once upon a time truly believed that she could do anything, and I mean anything that she wanted to do, that she set her mind to, before she was told either indirectly or directly that it wasn't okay for her to do this, not okay to do that it wasn't ladylike, that it wasn't feminine or attractive, not girly enough, isn't appropriate, whatever messages she got, then you're on your way to getting it right. Because you can set the record straight. That she can follow her dreams and become whatever she wants to. And dream those out of reach dreams. And reach for the stars and catch them. And make that dream come true for herself. If we can just find ourselves first, he is going to be there waiting for you somewhere along the way. Because he's been looking for you too. But we're never going to see that if we're only looking for a guy to make us okay, to complete us, to make everything perfect so we don't have to make that journey ourselves. Get out there and start living, really living your life the way you want it to be. Not this waiting kind of a life that we do where we live with only a little passion for ourselves, saving it up all for the guy we think is going to come along and do this all for us. Start living the way you were born to live. Claim your birthright for yourself. You deserve it. Everything that you've ever imagined, that's yours. Start living like the little girl inside you whose goals and dreams got squashed down just so long ago. It's tragic. Start listening to her and start seeing what she can really do. This isn't about a guy. It's about you because you have worth. You're worth it. Not because you're lady in waiting. Not because you have to wait. It's our time. It's your time. And if you don't get that and make it yours, it's not going to come from anyone else, no matter who he is. This time, this is about you. And I'm guessing right about now is when you're wondering just how we get to that place where you actually feel this that I'm talking about, this radiant, confident, beautiful you. Well, it begins by asking yourself some basic questions that you may not have even thought about before. Like, what do you want to do? I mean, what do you really like to do? What are you passionate about? Not what you like to do because you think a guy will like you if you like to do it. What would you choose to do with your time if there were no men in the world? Sometimes it helps to think about what you don't think you can do or what you've been told you can't do, especially what you've been told you can't do, because it's in finding that out. It's in breaking through the barriers of what you've been told you are and who you've been told you are and what you're going to become and having this all planned out for you. You're going to get to the other side where you can wake up and you can finally catch a glimpse of who you really are. And you're not going to You're not who they think that you are. You're going to find that out. You are so much more than that. But you're never going to know this until you start, until you push past through those limiting stereotypes of yourself and you find out who you really are. I want you to write down everything you'd like to do. Everything. And then keep writing. What is it? Skydiving, acting, playing piano, going on that trip, traveling. The sky is the limit, because I'll bet there's a whole lot of things out there just waiting for you to do that you never even knew you could do. I don't know what yours is. I don't know. But I do know this. I know there's something you've never pushed through to see if you can do it. We all have that. And it's one of the reasons we find ourselves attracting certain type of men, because we're looking for them to do it. And if you actually enjoy doing it, that's a sign, because we never know until we try. For me, it was acting. I decided I wanted to act or model. I had acted in school plays and musicals when I was younger, and I remembered really enjoying those. So you know what I did? I took a course, a couple of classes actually, and I had a portfolio made up, and I landed a few extra spots as an extra, the fill-in people who you see in some television shows. Now, mostly I had a lot of fun, but you know what I found out? I found out I wasn't really into it. It was more one of those things to check off on my list. And so I went on to experience the next thing. And then I tried ice skating. Now, like a lot of the little girls, I had always dreamed about what it would be like to be a professional ice skater or gymnast, but I was never allowed to take lessons. That's a whole other story for another time. But I did what any girl would do when she grew up and could make her own decisions, and she'd been denied those things when she was younger. Well, I took up lessons as an adult, and it was me and a bunch of young kids, and yeah, I was uncomfortable, at least at first, and I felt like I stood out. But I did stand out, but I found out that I absolutely love ice skating. Now I skate often with my kids, but you know what I found out? I didn't need to do any of this grandiose idea ice skating. I just enjoyed the simple act of ice skating. So I want you to find out yourself what interests you and pursue that. Find out what that is, because when you don't have all of this waiting, this hoping and hanging around, playing the role of the perfect girlfriend, waiting to be the chosen one, to be the one for him, you're going to find that you've actually got a whole lot of time to discover who you really are that you never had before. Maybe it's a career change. Maybe it's time to go back to school and get the degree you were always thinking about, or take that pottery course or whatever it is, the classes you've been thinking about. Maybe it's time to buy that piano and take some lessons and see what that is like for you. Or maybe it's time to get your passport in order, do some traveling to some of the places that you've always wanted to visit. I don't know what it is for you, but I do know there's something there. And if you trust yourself, and you just venture out and start exploring and trying, you'll know what it's time for, and you're going to know what you want to do if you start asking yourself and paying some attention to yourself for once, instead of some guy and everyone outside of you. Think about the things that matter to you. There's so much that has been about him. There's so many things you do because of him, because he likes it, because it's all been about him for far too long. You don't even know what you think about it anymore. You don't even know that you're your own person with your own likes and dislikes, with your own preferences and aversions and your own thoughts and ideas. That's you. That's you. That's beautiful, confident, radiant you. That is you, who you are. Okay, now it's your turn. What is it that makes you feel radiant, confident, beautiful? Share your stories, thoughts, questions. Share those things with all of us down in the comments over on the blog. The link is below the video. And if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. I've got a lot more videos like this one coming soon. I'll see you in the next one.